So for the introduction, my name is Anne Marie. And the project I've chosen is Lights Museum and Energy Center. So which was an initiative that was taken by KPTCL, USAID, and ICOMA. So basically, the basic goal of the project was to like show the people like the efficiency of lighting, the various types of lights used, like how can people use it, that was all the features that were basic required for the museum, and it should be aesthetically pleasing to them. So when coming to the site part, the site is basically situated in Bangalore, Whitefield, Karnataka. So the site is 7.5 acres of land, so which is close to the 400 to 220 kV receiving station of KPTCL, as well as it has the as well as in the rare area, it has the HR department of the KPTCL. And for this, it is a flat land. It is a flat land with a slope of 3 meters, and has a slope of 1:70 meters. And the main attraction of the only attraction or the main attraction of the site is that it has a metro rail that is going through it. So it is easy accessible to the people. And it has a water table of 30 meters, so the plot can be dug. So when coming to the case study, NGMA Delhi, National Gallery of Modern Art, which was basically done to understand the circulation and movement pattern of the building. So it has also a good ceiling feature. So the day part is like where the ceiling can provide as a natural lighting. And the other case study is the National Science Museum, Delhi, which has a unusual pattern for a museum, and it is basically like done based on the natural lighting, and it is a small space compared to the other museum type buildings. So it has natural lighting and ventilation used. And the other case study is for the research center was the Energy and Research Center, Bangalore, TERI, which was basically a building that was done based on energy efficiency. Like they used a renewable energy. They have like natural day lighting and ventilation. Like all the except for the laboratory part, which requires no lighting facility, like no natural lighting facility. And the other was NTL Research Center, Noida, which was a basic or rectangular shaped building, which didn't allow any like natural lighting to come in, as it was basically a place where like thermal test, lamp life test, altitude test, all sorts of tests were done. So they were very sensitive to the sunlight part. So that's that. And the basic data collection required for running of the museum. And these are the like equipments, like along with their features and the dimensions that are required, that helps in building the research center. And these are the comparative analysis on all the case studies done. So it categorizes function, facility, security, end user, circulation, lighting and ventilation, roof height, service core, materials, zoning pattern, built to open space. So coming to the concept part, so I was basically arrived with the concept as like sun as the ultimate source of energy. So from the sun, like the rays coming out will act as the different zones, like the gallery space, the cafes, the research center, the administration, and like all the other like rest of it. So it is basically like a moth attracting to the light. So in order to people to see what is happening, the people should actually come and see what is happening. These are the zoning and evolution in the site. So these are the proximity chart I've given. So which is basically like divided in the major museum complex, the auditorium block, the exhibition block, the staff block, the cafe complex, the research center, the like that. And the zoning is like basically the site is in an industrial area, doesn't have much of a activity going on in that area. So the only activity that can come up is when the light museum comes up. So it is basically divided into uh, um, private, semi-private, and completely private zones. Sorry, public zones. Like all of these which are connected by the circulation part, and the basic coverage of sunlight is given for the private as well as for the semi-private area, semi-private zones. And As well as metro is a part of the site, as metro is plays a major role. The buildings are given according to it. So the people creates a curiosity like what is happening inside the building. So coming to the master plan along with the site, so it has basically two entrances, like all three, like one for the service and one for the public entrances. So the public entrance is very close to the lobby space, so the pick and drop off is very uh, easy, and the service part is very close to the administration, research, and the cafeteria region, and it has a basically the major part is where the major part is like the for the museum. Um, the exit and entrance is the same, unlike the rest of the museum movement pattern that is actually there. So that is like the ticket counter and the gift shop is basically given in the same area, so that the people coming in and going out will see the ticket counter, like they have to return the tickets, and it is basically the same, so people won't miss out anything. So these are the basic like the roof plan or the side plan, and the other one shows and the this one shows the movement pattern, like the movement pattern of the of the basically the transportation, and this shows the building and the site's context, and there is a small canal like a channel that is moving along the site, so the water can be channelized like this. These are the basic zoning, and the yellow one shows the non-existing trees, and the green one shows the already existing trees that were there, so they're not being cut down. And so the yellow portion in here, the light yellow portion shows the parking provided, and the little orangish parking shows the bus parking area. So basically, the parking is given in front of these as a buffer zone, because the road in front of which is 24 meters. So it can it can in the future may be used for a future expansion. So that is for the buffer zone that was given. And this the other image shows the basic movement where the people can go. The violet shows the tourists, the blue shows the researchers, and the red one shows the office staff. So when coming to the plan, it is basically the lobby space. The lobby space, which is provided with three holographic projection areas, so it creates a different experience. And as for the entrance, it is given at a height of 3 meters, which is usually small for a entrance of the building. So, but it creates a kind of drama, so I've given it like that. And it has a flight of 13 stairs, and we have to get down by 10 stairs down. And when it comes to the middle portion, that is the main area, it has an elevated stair walkway, which creates a kind of it's like a lookout, like okay, this is happening here and this is happening here and all. And for the information hub, that is the colored portion. The colored portion. So it has a colored stair so that the light coming from all the part, like it reflects from it and gives a rainbow effect. Coming to the administration and the gallery part. So administration is basically zoned, zoned very close to the main block. These portion, and it has basically offices, the director's room, the cafe space, the canteen spaces for the staff, the changing, the locker rooms, all that. And the gallery spaces is provided the introduction gallery, the history of light gallery, futuristic gallery, and as well as the art form gallery, which is all separated by breakout lounges which open up to the pavilion region. So in the section, we can see that there is a huge aquarium-like portion. So the sunlight from which comes in from the top, and there will be reflection and refraction happening on. And this is the basically the portion that is below ground level, which is provided with which is provided with a retail store and the auditorium, which indeed is coming from the information hub, which has a screen projector like area, and the back of which has the photography and the toilet area, which leads to the auditorium space. So basically, this is where the refraction and all is happening. And the gallery space, beneath the gallery space, which comes the auditorium space. And when coming to the research center part, the research center is basically something that doesn't require light at all, light for their researches for happening. So the discussion area is the only portion where they require light. So for that, channelized lighting is given with a special type of roofing that is given. And the basic attraction of the research center is that the elevator is provided on the outside, on the exterior part, which acts as a sundial. So the shadow falls on each of them at different angles and in different lengths of shadows. So which is kind of amusing for the people that is coming from outside, as well as the researchers, as well as the staff. So it doesn't interfere with the other private and the semi-private or the public area. And this is the library. So library is also where the light is being channelized. So the orange portion is that acts as handrail is actually the bookshelf. So the bookshelf acts as a kind of shadowish like a portion where the light can come out through which. And small reading portions are given with the library. And coming to the pavilion area. The pavilion area is basically provided with five different materials, which creates like how light can pass through them and how light cannot pass through them. So creating a different experience, which is also placed very far from that of the road, and also basically disturbance is very less, very less, very less. And this is the cafeteria, which is given very proximately to the library space, because the cafeteria acts as a reading area for the library, so the people can actually access the it as well. So the research building, the amphitheater, the library are all given very close to the cafeteria, as the people can access pretty quickly. And the LED and the sculpture room, which is basically beneath the ground level, and the basement, which has all the services along with a few car parking areas. And so these are the basic elevation and the views from which so people can see. People can see from the building of the building. So the special topic I've chosen was transparent concrete, which is basically basically for the interaction part. So basically, the shadows and shadows can be seen from one building to the other. So people actually accessing from outside can see what is happening inside, like the shadow because of the shadow of the people moving. So it is basically creates an interaction and curiosity for the people that is actually like, creates kind of curiosity, like what is happening inside, like how can people see and all that. Okay, thank you.